Hello everybody, welcome back to another flight sim video, hopefully this time with audio. So obviously this is the first time I've been back properly. Obviously I did do a full video beforehand, also in Dublin, as you can maybe be able to tell by the brand new jet bridges I have and the EIDW sign there. But the other video, the audio didn't work. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm back, and I'm going to do a similar flight. Obviously, we're not going to London today because I don't want to do the exact same ones. We're going to go to Paris today. But we're back in the A320NEO, and I've been purchasing some things in the Black Friday sale. So I got myself GSX, as you can see up here. I got myself Dublin Airport, I got myself FS Realistic Pro, and I got myself East Midlands Airport. So obviously PMDG 737 didn't go on sale, unfortunately, but that's fine. We'll just wait. Or nor did the Phoenix actually as well. So you know we'll take it as it comes. When things go on sale and stuff, I'm just waiting out. It's no rush or anything. I don't mind flying the A320. But anyway, so let me just give you a quick look around. So this might be a little bit laggy, just very detailed. But we've got obviously all the Aer Lingus planes are at the American side of the airport. We've got the Ryanair terminal over there. See a Delta Airlines plane over there. It's really cool looking. I really like the Aer Lingus gates and stuff. Right, let's start us up. So let's get the tablet on. Let's import the sim brief data. You might hear some just some what I guess just ambient sounds and stuff in the cockpit. I just have that on with FS Realistic Pro. You see, I heard the door close and stuff like that. That's my first officer going in and out. Right, so we got that on. So I've been trying to become more immersive, so we're actually going to do a couple more procedures. So we have, so let's do the APU fire test. Let's start the aircraft first, that'd be a good idea. We'll get the crew supply on. Get the batteries on. Right, so let's get the APU on. APU fire checked. Left engine check. Check. Right, cool. Let's get the switches. Right, let's get the fuel and stuff on board. Actually, I've not inputted it into the thing yet. Let's just hold out a little bit. Right, so QNH, what are we looking at? I've been using a checklist as well, just so I can remember stuff, because I feel like I always gloss over stuff. So QNH is set. Let's get the emergency lights and no smoking on, seatbelt signs on, nav logo on, strobe on. Let's get these displays nice and bright. Because this always looks rubbish when the displays aren't bright on the video. Get the cam up display on. We'll get the lower display brighter as well. Let's do it over here as well, so our first officer has a nice bright screen as well. So obviously, yeah, I picked all this stuff up in the Black Friday sale, so really worth it. Obviously, I don't have any aircraft that can fly into East Midlands Airport at the minute, but eventually, definitely on my list. That airport it's just so good looking. I just really wanted it. So you know, at some point we'll get them. I can't speak. We will get a plane that can fly into there, but for now, we'll just fly out of Dublin, doing different routes and stuff. Honestly, it is my favourite route to fly out of. So, don't mean to be that guy that always flies out the same one, but right. Let's get the let's get everything loaded on. Let's request the catering service. We'll get Aer Lingus to do our catering service. Right. Okay.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Okay, there we go. Just got a call from the ground. Right. Let's set up the MCDU while we're letting that do that. If you actually, we could. Well, actually, it takes a while to get there. I think it'll give me a notification when it gets here. But first, I saw a very promising looking plane from EIDW. It was a brand new A320, A320NEO, which looks better than the fly-by-wire one. So there's something good, something to look forward to. Perfect freeware and everything, because it's a Sobo hired EIDW to build it for them, so comes with the game, so that's good. Right, let's go to init and let's get the init date request. So we are going to be flying from Dublin to Charles de Gaulle, and our alternate is another airport in France. I'm not entirely sure. I just let SimBrief autofill that for me. So let's go have a look at the flight plan. Let's see where we are. So obviously I don't have Navigraph, so I don't have the updated AIRAC information. So we can't. Catering vehicles are in position. Let's have a look at this quick. So I don't have the updated AIRAC information. There we go, he's loading all the stuff on board. Someone's starting up. Already taken off, I don't know where he's up. It's pretty neat. A little bit of lag there. Right. Let's go back to the cockpit. Okay. I'm not a massive fan of, just coming out the cockpit. Kind of breaks the immersion a little bit, but I thought I'd just show you that neat little feature that I got. Right. Let's get the... how much fuel are we going to need for today? Let's see how much we inputted. 5,200. We're going to whack that up to 5,300. So let's put that on. In fact, I can put it in the... Right, so let's... sorry, I'm still trying to get used to how all this stuff works. So would I go to GSX and request... request refueling. There we go. And I guess, to be honest, I guess we could just start the boarding now.
Boarding requested.
There we go. Oh. gate connect up.
Do you want to board crew?
Crew's already on board, so we need to actually load in. Nobody know.
Passengers boarding starting.
And we're getting all the luggage on board now as well. Awesome to see. A lot of passengers boarding.
Boarding completed.
I did not mean to press that. Let's just get everyone off.
Boarding completed.
Right. Well, everything being loaded up now anyway, don't we? Where's our luggage trolley? It's en route from somewhere. She's going mighty fast.
Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full...
What are you yapping about, pal? There's the air traffic control tower. Loading from gates really does make some stuff 1 out of 1 passengers boarded. Interesting how that works. Right. Let's continue with our thing. Let's go back. Right, so let's go to EIDW, right? So on the way there.
Boarding completed.
We've got a discontinuity there, so let's clear that. Right. Right, let's get our departure route. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin
Deck
crew, I'd like to
C1A
take this time to welcome you
departure.
aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to see final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft.
C1A.
We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Well, saying Deck C2A here, there's Deck C1A on my flight pad, so I'm assuming we're going to go Deck C2A. So let's see how that looks on our thing. Hope that doesn't create any discontinuity. Okay, just a little bit, but we can connect that up. Perfect, cool. Let's go to Charles de Gaulle. Arrival. Oops, daisies. We still got our bags loading. There we go, almost done. And a ton just spawned in again. Not yet then. Baggage loading 33%. Right. I don't mind, just as long as it's done by the time I finish messing around with all this. So we're landing runway 27 right at Charles de Gaulle in Paris. So it's 27 right, yeah. Sorry. And we're landing the Bieber 9V landing, right. Got any Vias? B-backs. Is that no? Okay, right. I'm fine with that. Any discontinuities now? One. Clear. Cool. Right, that's the flight plan complete. So let's have a look at our fuel. We go to page 2. We're going to put 5.3 tons on board today. Block fuel. And zero fuel takeoff weight is 59.2 tons. Right, there we go. Put that in. And let's have a look at our winds. So we can get a... Oh, is our QNH is 1019 here. Interesting. Discovered a bug. That should say QNH when I change that, but our QNH is 1019 at Dublin right now. So let's have a look at our winds on our flight plan. Trip wind, we're looking at a wind of 43 knots. So where is it again? I always, you know, it's every single time I play this, I just forget where this is. There we go. Trip wind, so that's on fuel pred, right. Let me just write that into my checklist so I don't forget that. Let's do that again. I'll learn it one day. I'll learn it one day. After like 4 months of doing this, I will learn it one day. Right. 43. There we go. Bags are almost done. Would love to get the fuel loaded anytime soon. That would be nice. I do have it en route, right? I need to figure out how that whole passenger boarding thing works, because it only says I've got one passenger. He's got a nice service, whoever that is. Let's see, are we en route? Refueling, service requested. Shows. Boarding completed. Okay, right. Are we gonna pack up now?
Refueling truck is on its way.
Okay.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Okay, right. So that's something then. Okay, next time I'll fuel the plane up first before we board. Okay, noted. I guess that does make sense. Right, let's continue doing our MCDU. So we are going to have a flaps 2 departure, and we're going to have a V1 speed of 126 knots, a V rotate speed of 127 knots, and V2 speed of 131. Okay, that's our takeoff speed set. I believe we are done in that regard. Now we just need to wait for the fuel to be loaded up, and here we are. It's on his way. Let's stick on the APU. Let's get all that lovely stuff loaded up. We'll put the APU bleed on after that. Right. It's a bit of a weird order, but just bear with me.
Fuel truck is in position.
Fuel truck is in position. I wonder if
Please
I can...
don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
So that's a warning for next time. A threat, if you will. I'd say at some point I definitely need to fly it from this position. First officer position. We'll do that soon, I reckon. For now, let's fly it like this, I guess. Shall I detach the jet bridge while we wait for the fuel to be loaded up? God, this is a bit laborious, isn't it? Like connecting it through the ground and stuff. Right. Let's just set our squawk code and stuff then while we're waiting. Squawk 5076.
System to set the desired fuel quantity.
Right, so we're going 5,300 kilos, right? Right. Fire truck inbound. Just doing his the airplane's loading 18 gallons, 120 pounds. Oh, we should be out in a jiff then. Right. Let's get the checklist up and we'll cockpit prep. So we have gear pins and covers checked. We did the fuel quantity. Seatbelt signs are on, the ADO signs are set, and the bioreferences is set. Before start, we've got parking brake set. Takeoff speeds and thrust are set in the MCDU. Windows are both closed, sealed shut and tight. Perfect. And the beacon, let's switch her on.
Flight attendants, armed doors, and cross-check.
Right, cool. Let's just wait for the fuel truck to go away now. And then, in fact, we can actually disconnect the bridge. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit sick at the moment, so I apologise for that. Get as a default. New. There we go. Refueling completed. Just on time. So we're going off runway 28 left, so we are going to be going back there. Back. I think we should be facing towards the right, so let's do it. Operation complete. Let's do some pushback. Deboarding no longer available. Prepare for pushback and departure. Let's request pushback clearance. What's this guy doing? He's walking over to us.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Right. Let's push us back then.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Right, cool. Right, let's get the tug set up.
Locking gear.
Cool, right. Let's so right. Locking gear, we locked it. Right, so let's get the pushback. Interrupt, stop here, and complete pushback procedure. Right. Continue pushback. Quick edit pushback. Can I? Oh. Can I? Is this like a thing where I have to? How do I control this? Right. This is not ideal, guys. I know. Just give me a minute. I didn't know what any of this stuff means. Is there? Interesting. Right.
Exiting from editing mode.
Release parking brakes, please.
Right. Let's try that again.
Release parking brakes, please.
Let's abort that. Let's try that again. Continue pushback. Swiss port to push us back then.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay, let's go then. Apologise for this, I guess,
Departure check completed.
this,
Bypass pin inserted.
unconventional video. We usually don't do it like this, I assure you. This is your first time. I'm just testing out all these new features. Right, we got all that in.
Locking gear.
Right, let's continue. Okay, guess I wasn't supposed to do that. Alright, continue pushback. Right.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, let's start our engines then. Engine 2 start. Look at this. Oh dear, we're facing the wrong way. No. Right. Right, let's try that again. Let's go to runway 2 right, 2 8 right, that's where we are, right. Interesting. Right, let's just get the engine started, and then I'll go back into the gate and we can try it again. But I should have just used the compass, like, I don't know what was going through my head. So I've not got a fantastic sense of direction, but you know, things happen. Over here is no. Right, let's go back into the thing. Right.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
Stop the engines. Right, let's give that another go. Right. Let's get all this stuff sorted out again.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Yeah, this whole rigmarole again. Just disconnect your little tool into the landing gear.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Right, you just let me know. Can I continue?
Locking gear.
Ah, right. Alright, let's continue this. This is our work in process. I've no rush or anything. Departure clearance requested. So, where did we go? Faced west. We need to look. Do we have a compass in here anywhere? Right, we need to face west.
Release parking brakes.
This is wrong again.
Commencing
I'm
push.
gonna do a.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Right, let's go. Finally. Okay. Start her up. I did say I'm going to try and not go out the cockpit that much. I promise you on other flights that's definitely going to be the case. However, just while I'm trying to get to grips with this whole thing, I need to just be able to make sure I'm doing everything okay, right and stuff. Just a learning process, so don't mind me while I'm just trying to sort this stuff out. Man, I really want to get a Phoenix A320 so bad. That and the PMDG. Right, cool. I mean, I guess I'm kind of. It's all part of the process, isn't it? You know, trying to push back doing this kind of stuff. Right. Cool. So engine 1 started. Are we lined up? Right.
Set parking brakes.
Let's set parking brake. Set.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Okay. Let's get the engine start. Confirm good engine
Cockpit
start.
to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
You disconnect now. Let's get on our way. Right. Now they've disconnected. Right. Come on, guys, hurry up a little bit.
Unlocking gear.
God, I love this airport. It's all part of the learning journey. Alright.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Bypass pin, that's what that's called, okay.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Right is clear. Right, 28 left is just off to our left down there, I believe, so. Right. So, let's get the flap set to 2. Spoilers armed. APU bleed off. Don't need any anti-ice. Let's get auto brake on max. Let's get the taxi lights on. Right. Now let's do our flight control test. Once we do after start, anti-ice not required. ECAM status, just really quickly, let's check that. Normal. Pitch trim is, let's have a look. Where are we? Flight control. Fine. Automatic. Rudder trim is neutral. Awesome. Right. We're vibrating a lot, aren't we? Right. So, let's do our flight control test while we're in here. Right. So we're on full left, neutral, full right, neutral, full up, neutral, full down, neutral. Let's go on the rudder. Full left, neutral, full right, neutral. We'll just check the brakes as well. Working perfectly. Right. That's flight control test done. Let's ding the cabin for taxi. Let's go. Let's get them off. Let's increase the throttle a little bit. Oh, we're bouncing a bit, aren't we? Right, so we're just going to go left. Using minimum power. Am I getting put on the runway? Let's just stop here, make sure there's no incoming traffic. We're fine. Obviously we're not on that sim, so we're just going to have to use our own intuition. Right, let's move across here. We're all lined up, yeah. Right, let's line up here. Right, runway turn off on. Let's ding the cabin for it's about to take off. Let's get our wind shear. Is that wind shear? I think it is. TARA.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Right, let's get the landing lights on. And let's go through our last checklist. Got all that set up. Let's put that back to normal. So to line up, 2 runway, we've got 2 cast on, packs 1 and 2 are set, we're fine. Right, now let's get the parking brake off and let's do this thing. Fine, no one off to the left, nothing coming in. Right. Right, let's line up here. Cool. Right, okay. I guess we're cleared for takeoff. Right, let's go. Toga. $40. 100 knots. 120 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. This is climb. Let's go up. Climb, maintain 6,000. Need to do that. Let's continue. That's
Traffic.
yeah, TCAS. Let's go up to flight level 090. Beautiful takeoff as usual from Dublin. Beautiful left turning. Is that our QNH standard? Climb 090. Beautiful. Wow. Maybe we get another view of the airport while we're travelling over. See, I doubt it. We're a bit far away now, but it's okay. Right, we're looking perfect right now. Let's continue maintaining flight level 090 while we are heading over Dublin. Right. Bloody perfect, eh? Right, so my last flight, I talked for the whole time we were there. The whole time, obviously none of the audio recorded, which really sucked. But what I was talking about was, and I believe I briefly mentioned this earlier in the video, was that indie builds have created their own A320, and I say these things, you know, expecting that people, obviously, you know, not everyone is like in the flight sim community, as in you know, up to date with what things being built. Indie builds are effectively quite a prominent content creator, you know, known for creating a lot of things for the game, and indie builds were I guess contracted, I don't really know how you say it, by Asobo, and Asobo basically made the game Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? So Asobo effectively contracted it out to indie builds to build a brand new A320NEO. So we are currently flying an A320NEO, right? Made by fly-by-wire, completely freeware project, you know, an upgrade to the current standard one that comes with the game. Now the thing is with the indie builds one is that that's technically an update to the standard one. However, the most recent reviews of it sound very good. A lot of people are saying it's better than this one, so we'll have to see what that's like. But if it's better than this, we'll definitely go and have a look about switching over and try to do stuff like that. So that'd be interesting to learn. So I've got a list as well, actually, of things that I want to buy for the game. I've crossed off a lot of that this weekend. Bought quite a few things because of Black Friday. Black Friday's they say that you're meant to you save money, but I just end up spending all my money on Black Friday. But to be fair, I've saved about, I don't know, about 50 quid or so for how much all this stuff would have usually cost. So I'm not too fussed, because I'm happy that I got a good deal on it, because I did want this stuff anyway. So yeah, it's pretty good. Happy with that? Right. Now I'm looking at my list now. Obviously, for monitor, still PMG 737 is still on there. Taxiway signs and Phoenix A320 Phoenix. However you say it. Yes, that's on there as well. Wow, you just love this. How long is this flight? I wonder. It's for a couple hours, right? Oh, don't crash on me, please. Dear God. Let's have a look. Flight ground. Right, let's actually climb now. What are we? Flight level 290. No, 230. Right, let's climb. To that. Perfect. Let's have a look at the. Where is it? Fuel. Right, 12 minutes. Yeah. 56 doesn't actually. I guess it doesn't tell me. Is there anywhere else I could check? I mean, I guess I could just keep track of the line. We're quite into it. I've got to say that I don't know whether I'll be able to talk for 2 hours. Like the other one before was only like a 40-minute flight. This is to Charles de Gaulle, so I don't know how long that's going to take. Pardon me. That was a very weird sneeze as well, actually. I hate this time of year. Hate it. Right, we're above 10, so let's get all this up. Sign off. Right. Cool. So with FS Realistic Pro, it comes with so when you land, obviously, you know, you can kind of get some sort of a gauge on how hard your landing is, really, because it will, you know, have a big poof if it's hard, or it'll be nice and soft if it's soft. So I want to try and get it nice and soft, hopefully. Excited to see how that goes. I don't think I've gone to Charles de Gaulle on this channel yet. I can't remember. I can't really remember, but we'll see if I remember it or not. I've been before, like in real life, I think. Like 12 years ago, maybe. I think I've went in the game before. I don't think that ended well. Yeah, I remember what happened. So it's before I had my rudder, so I landed there and I went straight off the runway. Yeah, that wasn't great. Obviously, I didn't record any of that because those are just my tester flights for the game. So yeah, didn't record any of that. But obviously, I'm still recording all this stuff now. And look, this flight, you know, it's not perfect, but as I said, I'm just documenting everything I do on this game. You know, I guess it's kind of a sentimentality thing as well. Like, I feel like I can go back and look at all my stuff and see how I've progressed. you know. Well, obviously, you know, this isn't real life, it's a simulator, so it's, you know, when I'm older, you know, hopefully my skills are a little bit better in real life. Obviously, it's a completely different environment, isn't it? Like, this is a game, it's a different atmosphere, you know. I can sit here with my hot water bottle on my lap, you know, my checklist on my other monitor. I don't have a first officer or whatever captain next to me, you know, to keep me company, you know. I'm just talking about stuff to the camera while we're in flight, you know, stuff to talk about, really, just to ramble to myself, you know, get stuff off my chest, if that makes sense, while flying, obviously, because it's something I really want to do. I want to build up my flight time, you know, it's just fun, I just really enjoy it. Now, I was actually watching I think I mentioned this before in any of some of my other videos. I'm a big fan of Michael O'Leary, the CEO of Ryanair. Obviously, I'm Irish, he's Irish, you know, it's I guess that's probably the main reason, bit of bias. Obviously, he made big business, you know, very successful man. Also, there's no BS attitude to everything, it's just funny. But I commented on a LinkedIn page recently. I believe it was his, or it was the Ryanair LinkedIn page, I can't remember. And I got the most unhinged response ever from someone who obviously isn't a fan of Ryanair, right? But obviously I'm 16 years old as of now, 24th of November 2023. Oh, it's the 25th, Jesus, don't know the date. 25th of November 2023. This guy looks about 40, and he responds to me basically saying, you know, you pathetic, you know, child, you study hard in school, you find people like this good, you C-word and all this. I was just like, I just said, delete this comment, mate. It's just act like an adult, Jesus Lord. And it's not even the worst part, like, he's saying it on LinkedIn, all his connections can see it, right? So it's kind of like, what are you doing? You know, I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. He put 6 comments under my post as well, so 6. I don't know what he's up to, but, you know, I mean, if I was, you know, if I was more bothered, you know, I could just send this post to his employer, you know, like, I don't know, you know, he's going to mess with the wrong person, it's going to happen to him. But, no, I reported them, and they got deleted, the comments, so I don't know what happened, but there you go. Anyway, yeah, so I was also watching a video of Michael O'Leary talking about the most recent Boeing production issues they're having. So if you don't know Boeing, the people who make the, you know, 737, you know, the stuff that Ryanair fly, 787, 747, jumbo jet, you know, all that, all those planes that Boeing make. Anyway, yes, so they're currently in a production crisis. So Ryanair aren't getting the planes they are ordering effectively, and they're, what was it, they're expected, they wanted 57 by June, they're only going to get 40. Obviously 40 planes is a lot, but I think the aviation industry as a whole is kind of struggling right now, production wise. I know it's not necessarily Airbus's fault, but what do you call it, the Pratt & Whitney engines on the A320NEO. So on this one I'm flying right now, it's the LEAP engine, so CFM engine. But A320NEOs also have Pratt & Whitney, so you can get a Pratt & Whitney or CFM LEAP, basically. So yeah, the Pratt & Whitney engines, I can't quite remember what the issue is, but a lot of A320NEOs are struggling. So a lot of airlines are having to ground their fleets of A320NEOs, which, I mean, you know, I was talking about Ryanair, they're not getting their planes in time. I mean, a lot of airlines, the planes they currently have, they're not able to fly. So, you know, I'd say Ryanair are looking to have some sort of exponential growth there. I mean, if I can't fly Aer Lingus, or if I can't fly, you know, Wizz Air or EasyJet, you know, I don't know whether EasyJet are practically or Leaps or whatever, but if I can't fly any of them, you know, I'll fly Ryanair. I'm not going to fly British Airways, you know, pay triple the price, or, you know, fly Air France or KLM or whatever, you know, I'll go Ryanair. I know a lot of people, you know, they don't like Ryanair, you know. Some people think they've got extra hidden costs, this and that, which is, like, fair enough, because it is, like... The thing is when you book your ticket, you think, okay, you know, this is all it is, right? This is all you have. But if you want to check a bag, you've got to pay extra, which, I mean, to be honest with you, like, 10 years ago, you didn't need to do that on all airlines, but it's ever since Ryanair doing it, all the legacy carriers, and what I mean by legacy carriers is, like, you know, your KLMs, your Air France's, your American Airlines, your BA, you know, all them, right? They followed suit with Ryanair. The thing is, though, is Ryanair have really low costs, so effectively it doesn't really matter, because it kind of makes up the difference in the end when you just check a bag. Well, it would have made a difference if the legacy carriers didn't decide to start having to charge for checking a bag on them as well. So it's kind of like, you know, are you trying to get people to not fly you anymore? I know there's always going to be the same, you know, negative Nellies that don't like Ryanair, as I was saying, because of these extra charges and stuff like that. But it's not even an extra charge anymore. I mean, at the end of the day, I understand Ryanair's business model, you know. The quicker they can turn around, you know, the more flights they can get in, and the lower they can drive fares down. You know, so, you know, if they didn't have to load bags, Ryanair can turn around in 5-10 minutes. You know, on and off kind of thing. Probably not 5-10 minutes, but, you know, obviously, because that'd be a bit negligent. But you know what I mean, like, shorter amount of time than they are now. So I can kind of see, you know, the merit behind not checking a bag. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's ever going to happen where people aren't going to check a bag. You know, there might be some flights where people don't, but, like, it's not going to be non-existent, right? Because people, you know, when they go on holiday, like, a family of, like, 2 adults and 2 children, right? And they're going on to Spain for 2 weeks, they're going to want, you know, not just 2 pairs of clothes, you know, they're going to need their swim costumes and, you know, their aftershave and makeup or whatever they have, right? Plus they want to bring stuff back, like souvenirs, stuff like that. You can't fit that in your little Adidas gym bag that fits in the Ryanair, you know, in the Ryanair, you know, slot, you know, the ones where, like, if it fits, it flies kind of thing. So I don't think that's going to happen, you know. So I wonder where the point is with that turnaround, where they can lower the fares as much as possible. And I know I'm going on about Michael O'Leary a lot and about Ryanair a lot, but when he was on the Late Show, he was talking about wanting to make a standing cabin. Now I don't know whether that was just, you know, all publicity is good publicity kind of stunt thing from him there, but I can see the merit behind it. Like, obviously it's not safe, right? But if you take out the toilets and put a standing cabin for, like, short hops across the Irish Sea, right? You know, we've done this before on that, right? It's 40 minutes standing. You know, on the tram, you know, on the Lewis in Dublin, or, like, you know, the tram in, I don't know, San Francisco, or wherever you are, right? A lot of the time, you are stood for, like, 40 minutes, especially when it's busy, right? So if you pay, like, a euro or €5 or something for that, for a standing cabin, right? As a whole, right, he said this, Michael O'Leary, he said he guarantees that they fill that standing cabin first, because at the end of the day, if it's cheaper, people will, you know, pay for the standing cabin, right? And if you think about it as a whole, that will technically lower the cost of the flight as a whole, because in a standing cabin you can fit a lot more people, right? And if a lot more people are paying, you know, €1, that's more than, you know, if there were 6 seats there. And if there were 6 seats there, right, and they cost €10, right, and within that 6 seats you could fit, like, where those 6 seats were, you could fit, like, 18 people, right, for example, right, because obviously you got rid of the toilets at the back, so you probably fit another, I don't know, 8 people there, then obviously get rid of a couple row of seats. You know, you're gonna like make more money. Like if you're 18 people, it costs €5. You know, it's like €90 altogether. So if you kind of have that, overall, that's going to lower the prices on the fares on Ryanair down. Obviously, it's not a great pleasant experience, but you know, people compare. You know, in America right now a lot. Right now, people are flying like they're catching the bus. You know, like obviously maybe not now with like the cost of living crisis and stuff and whatever Biden's doing. I don't really know what he's doing over there, but you know, that's, you know, I don't know, right? The whole thing might be a dying thing now, with people having less money, but past a year, you know, coming into 2023, people are flying everywhere, right? They're flying like they're catching the bus, you know. Air travel has been, it's the most demand it's ever been, I'm pretty sure, since after 9/11, after the financial crisis. But effectively, you know, more people are flying than ever, right? Because, you know, plane tickets are getting cheaper, you know, Ryanair, right? The reason why they need these Boeing aircraft, right, is because these, you know, the demand is getting high now. And here, we're kind of feeding on to another point where it's kind of like, well, yeah, okay, the demand is getting really high. Now, what are we going to do? Who are we going to get to fly these things, right? And obviously, we know pilots fly planes, you know, we're doing right now, you know. It's a complicated business, right? It costs a lot of money to train. And the issue is they don't have a lot of candidates to do so. Obviously, it's really expensive. Not a lot of people can afford to do it, right? Like, I mean, it's something I'd really like to do, but I don't know where I'm gonna find the money to do it. I guess I'm gonna have to sweat it out at an Amazon workshop, or what do you call it, warehouse for 2 years. You know, doing day shift, night shift. You know, working 2 jobs. It's gonna be absolutely horrible. There's no doubt about it. But I'll put in the work in. You know, to get to where I want. I'll do anything, really. Anyway, I think it's a case of there's not going to be enough pilots, and I'm seeing this on the news. I saw it a few months ago. God, it might be an ITV News, Channel 4 News, something like that, talking about how they don't have enough pilots, and that's probably going to be a big issue, because low-cost carriers like Ryanair depend on being able to expand, right? So I guess they have 2 solutions, right? The like make pilot training more accessible, which I guess increases the appeal. Because at the end of the day, there's only ever going to be a limited amount of people who want to do it, right? It's a lifestyle choice. Not a lot of people like that kind of lifestyle choice, you know, the constant travelling. Because, like, for example, if I ask my family, right, I'm the only one in my family that actually enjoys the whole process, right, of flying. Everyone else should find it tiring. It's obviously a tiring business, right? But, I mean, the one thing that motivates people in this world, we live in a capitalist society, right? Well, especially in the West we do anyway, right? Don't know about Russia. But we're all motivated by money, right? So you see all these, you know, Delta Airlines, American Airlines, you know, all these are jacking up their pilots' wages to, like, you know, $500,000 a year for some of them, right? From experienced wide bodies and this and that, right? Ryanair are going to very soon have to do that if they want to get pilots in. And that's going to really jeopardise the low-cost model, I reckon. You know? So that could be something we see very soon. I don't really know. But they need to really invest in training more pilots. God, we're lagging a little bit. A little bit of a lag spike. It's fine. Got a while until we make it to Charles de Gaulle. Should be fine. No issues. Right. Anyway, yeah. But I think it'd be interesting working for Ryanair, because obviously I really admire the company, right? It's allowed a lot of people, you know, to, because I do business studies at school, by the way, so this is why, you know, I'm kind of interested in this kind of stuff, but it's allowed a lot of people, you know, especially less well-off people, to actually, you know, have holidays come into their own possibility, and they're not bullied by these legacy carriers anymore that just jack up the price because they monopolise the market, you know. Now Ryanair monopolises the market, right? Except they monopolise the market by making airfares cheaper, right? And that's just a net good as a whole, right? So, yeah, I think Ryanair's a very good thing. No matter your experience, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like Ryanair, you know, they delayed my flight, right? But as a whole, you know, what Ryanair's done to the aviation community, I mean, Ryanair has, like, the most on-time flights, because, in all fairness, it's a lot more in their interest to have flights that are on time than, you know, BA would, right? If BA has a flight to Miami that's 2 hours late, right, landing, right, doesn't necessarily matter, right? The only things that matters is, you know, people getting your connection, right? But they'll pay compensation for that, right? But other than that, right, doesn't necessarily matter, because they've already overcharged anyway, so they're making a massive profit, right? But if Ryanair, right, if they don't get there on time, right, they're not going to make money on that flight, right? Because people are going to want compensation for connections. And the thing is with Ryanair, because of their low-cost model, they're going to have to pay compensation, or don't in some cases. That's one controversy from Ryanair. But they'll have to pay compensation, and because Ryanair's whole business model revolves around quick turnarounds, right? Fitting in loads of flights at once, in one day, right? Same aircraft, that, right? Which ultimately built up enough profit, right? Anyway. Then, you know, they're going to have some serious issues, right? Because at the end of the day, they pay compensation to people, then they're just going to lose money on that flight, plain and simple. So, it's in Ryanair's best interest to be on time and not pay compensation, you know, to people, right? So that's why I probably trust Ryanair more than other airlines, right? And I'd say as well, with Ryanair, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into with it, right? It's cheap and it's cheerful, right? It's not necessarily great for a 4-hour flight to Barcelona, right? But for a 40-minute hop across the Irish Sea, you know, it's great, right? You know, the leg room's good. I've always found the leg room good. It might be because I'm short, but I've always found it pretty good. And, you know, it's always, majority of the time, whenever I'm going there, so I always fly out of East Midlands Airport, right? Whenever I'm going there, I can't remember, I think maybe we might have been delayed once in the 10 years I've been going there, and I go there a few times every year, right? So I've probably been there about 10, 20, 30 times maybe. Flown out of East Midlands about that much. Somewhere in that ballpark. But it's been delayed about once. Now, coming out of Dublin Airport, you know, a lot of the time it's, you know, the air traffic controllers, you know, it's an international airport. I think a lot more stuff's going to go wrong there, whereas East Midlands, you know, it's a domestic, you know, it's more of a cargo hub, East Midlands, to be honest. You know, you got your DHLs and all that there. But anyway, yeah, I've only ever really had good experiences with Ryanair. So, you know, I know what I'm going into. I'm experienced with it, right? I bring on one carry-on bag, right? And I just wash the clothes, you know? I find somewhere, I wash the clothes, it's fine, right? Better than paying, I don't even know what it is, like 80 quid for a checked bag, right? And I'm bringing like 2 weeks worth of clothes, whatever. And I thought just came to my head now, actually. I was talking about the pilot shortage a few minutes ago. I was talking about how a lot of people, you know, like I was talking about how my family, they don't enjoy the whole experience of travelling, so like that. When you're a pilot, if you're late to the airport, right, you know, say if you're half an hour late, the plane's not going to leave without you, because you are the pilot, right? So it's not, obviously you want to be there on time because it's like being late to work, right? But sometimes the whole hustle and bustle of the airport, right, you can't help, you know, being late. Security lines long, you know, that's sad, right? But as a pilot, you get all these perks as well, right? I don't know whether some pilots get lounge access at United Airlines or at Delta, or, you know, get free taxis to the airport. I don't really know how it works, right? But at the end of the day, right, it's less stressful, right? You don't have to check a bag as a pilot. You know, you can bring on your wheelable suitcase, store it in the cockpit with you, you know, down here, in there, you know, store your laptop in there, do whatever, right? And it's not actually that stressful, right? Well, not that I know of. I mean, this is what I'm theorising about this, right? Obviously, there are probably some pilots, you know, stress. People just naturally stress, right? Airports, they can be stressful environments, so I can kind of see the merit in stressing about airports, right? But as a pilot, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, right? I think, you know, as a pilot, this plane's not going to leave without you, as I said. And also, I think in an airport, right, it kind of feels like it's every man for himself, right? So, you know, everyone's going to different flights, you know, stuff like that, right? But if you're late to the airport, right, which pilots, to be fair, they should account for, you know, if they're late to the airport, you know, you have to kind of ask why they are, you know, did they leave too late, was there traffic, you know. But if there is traffic, you know, and everyone kind of leaves at the same time, you know, they recommended, 2 or 3 hours before the plane takes off, when you get to the airport. Everyone leaves kind of then, right? It's not just the pilot that's going to be late, it's passengers, right? So a lot of the time you're going to be waiting around anyway for passengers to get there, or, you know, to call in that they're not going to make it or whatever. So I feel like if you are late the majority of the time as a pilot, it's kind of a collective thing. I don't know, but that's what I feel like. Anyway, let's see how we're getting on. So, almost halfway through now. I'm just admiring this Airbus cockpit. It's really simple. Really, really simple aircraft, this. Great. Great little thing. Let's see how far away we are. Quite a while yet. It's fine. I think we're flying. Yeah, there we go. I think that's. We put up sim brief. A look at the flight path we're currently embarking on. Give me a minute. Let's just. So we are currently on waypoints. Oops. On waypoints. Naden, right? Naden. Have a look at that. Speedex. There we go. We're currently flying over Chipping Norton. That's funny. Anyone doesn't know where that is where Jeremy Clarkson lives. That's interesting. Clarkson's Farm, anyone's watched that. Good show. Anyway, we're flying over Chipping Norton right now. Probably going to go over Reading very shortly. Let me see. You can kind of tell you're flying over Chipping Norton, can't you, when it looks like that? What airport is that? No. That is some RAF base, I think. Right. So we've got quite a few waypoints over the English Channel. As visible, I guess. by the large map there. Look, SFD. So that's just east of Brighton. Well, I'd say not Brighton necessarily, like New Haven kind of, just kind of that kind of area of the UK down there. Anyway, but all of this here, it's English Channel, all the way up to Bibats. That's all over the English Channel. So we're getting there now. In fact, might be able to see it. Yeah, there we go. It's the English Channel there. So yeah, this is a long flight, and I do wonder how. Because I was talking about this on the other one, because I was talking about the PMDG 737. Because I want, obviously, I'm a fan of Ryanair, right? I've been talking about Ryanair for this past, however long this has been. Quick sip of water. It's sore throat. Still ill. Yeah, been talking about Ryanair. Obviously, I want to do normal Ryanair operations. I bought East Midlands Airport, so I do East Midlands to Dublin. Nice short flight, something nice to do, right? Anyway, PMDG 737, that's what I'm looking at, right? And effectively, I want to kind of know the differences between an Airbus and a Boeing cockpit. I'm learning the PMDG 737 slowly. I'm kind of, obviously I'm watching videos, I don't actually own the aircraft yet. I'm probably going to buy that next month, maybe. Hopefully there's a Christmas sale. I wouldn't hedge my bets, but hopefully, who knows. So yeah, I'm gonna look for that. If I want to get a Boeing, right? That's what I want, right? I want to get a Boeing, right? I was just thinking, oh, I could get the Phoenix, no. I want to get a Boeing. I want to do Ryanair. I could do Jet 2 operations, Ryanair operations, American Airlines, United Airlines. I could do the whole lot, right? It'd be really good. But right, here's the thing. I don't necessarily, know all the systems and stuff like that. So if anyone, I know there's probably not anyone. If you've watched up to this point, fair enough. You've listened to my whole talk about Ryanair and stuff. But if you know anyone, who's good at 737 stuff, any YouTubers, because I've watched a few guys and some of them are really in depth, but really hard to retain that information. So my strategy right now is I've been watching, just people doing, standard operations, right? Doing Ryanair flights or Air Canada or, Alaskan or whatever they're doing. Right? But I'm just kind of, I guess it's kind of that strategy where if you do something over and over again, it kind of sticks. Obviously, I'm not the one doing the aircraft, operations. If I'm observing it, I kind of know the basics of that aircraft. I know, it's similar, similar process, APU, switches, external switches, stuff like that. So yeah, I would like to learn it. 737 is a really nice plane as well. It's just nice. I like it a lot. And hopefully, please God, it's the first plane I fly. Because if I have to say Ryanair one more time, I'm going to lose my will. But I'm going to say it again because I guess I want to lose my will. I already have, but whatever. Lost the will to live. But I'd probably if I'm thinking about my future and I'm thinking about potential airlines that can, because I want to fly in America, right? I want to fly American aircraft because when I think of aviation, I think of the golden, airlines. I think of your Pan Ams, your TWAs. And obviously Pan Am's gone now, TWA's merged into American Airlines, and obviously you had your Easterns, your Northwest, your Uniteds, your American Airlines, that silver retro livery. It's just lovely. But when I think of, aircraft, airlines, that's what I think of, American stuff, right? But I'm thinking, Ryanair is the biggest operator. Oh, please don't crash. Okay. Ryanair is the biggest operator of Boeing aircraft in Europe, right? and the majority of American airlines, not the airline American Airlines, but the majority of US carriers, right, aside from like Spirit and Frontier, like that, fly Boeing, right? So if I can get, you know, good 1,500, you know, few thousand hours under my belt, because I'm gonna go on another thing here now, because after the I think it's Continental Express crash in 2009, February 2009, I believe, they basically made it in America where to be able to obtain a commercial, you know, a commercial pilot's license, you need 1,500 hours. So if I could get that 1,500 hours on my belt on a 737, right, I feel like I could be probably an attractive, you know, candidate for like United, or obviously I'll probably get more than that. I'll probably get a few thousand hours in the 737. Maybe make my way up to captain on Ryanair, I don't know. Probably be something good to do. No, there's no rush, like, obviously. But if I can kind of get up like that, I think that would be... Because you need 1,500 hours, so I might as well do it on a 737. And maybe I could go to, you know, Envoy, or, I don't know, GoJet, or maybe I could go straight to American or United. Who knows which way the wind blows. I mean, I'd say probably, like, if I'm thinking, like, logically right now, Southwest would probably be, like, a good bet, right? The majority, I think their entire fleet are 737-700s, right? And if you get a type rating on a 737-800, you're pretty sure it's universal, right? Pretty sure, you know, it applies to 700s. Obviously, there are some minor differences, and I probably need some sort of retraining, but, like, other than that, like, I think I'd probably be raring to go on Southwest. And obviously as well, I'd be lying if I said the money wasn't a lot more attractive in America. Obviously, you know, I could fly in the UAE, right? You know, Emirates, right? Like, imagine flying an Emirates A380, right? That'd just be spick and span, you know, it'd be fantastic, right? That'd be a dream, to fly an A380. That one really would. But, like, it pays less than an American carrier would at this current stage, by the way. This could be all, like, subject to change. Like, all American carriers could, like, drop their pay scale, and it'd just be like, well, I'll just go everywhere, wherever it pays me best. I don't know. I feel like it's also a quality of life thing as well. Like, in Dubai, you know, you don't have to pay oh, I've just dropped my bottle lid. In Dubai, you don't have to pay tax, right? So minimal tax. Obviously you have to pay some tax, but you pay minimal tax, right? So effectively, if I were to go over there and I got paid 300 grand as a first officer on an A380, right, for Emirates, right, I'd keep probably about 290 of that, right? However, if I worked for American Airlines, right, and I flew from, or let's say I flew United, right, I flew from Newark to Oslo, right, United, right, whatever, 757, whatever they fly on that route, 767, most, you know, 777 wide body, you know, captains, right, let's say hypothetically I'm a captain, I'm 50 years old, I'm a captain, right, because I built my seniority at that company, right, because this is what I'm saying, you know, I fly a while at Ryanair, and then I, you know, progress, right, to bigger carriers and build up my seniority there, right, but they're getting paid like 700,000, some of them get paid more than that, right, and obviously that's taxed, right, American economy, you know, needs to keep spinning. So let's say you probably got like 40% tax maybe on that. You keep 60% if you're lucky, depending where you live as well. So if you live in like Florida, like, you're fine, but like if you live in California, you're probably homeless. But yeah, I mean, it's more attractive that, like, I feel like, I don't know, I've been to Dubai once, right? And I say I've been to Dubai, I haven't left the airport. The airport was lovely, right? Great airport. However, like, from what I've heard from other people, right, it just like, you either love it or you hate it, right? So the people who hate it, right, they feel like it's got no culture. A culture to a place is really important to me. I'm really interested in history, you know, I'm interested in that stuff, right? If I'm just going to be walking through a place, you know, it's just full of glass buildings, you know, stuff like that. It's cool, you know, the Burj Khalifa, it's cool, you know, but I'd also rather be able to walk through, you know, a nice forest, you know, forest path, like in, like, Ohio, or, like, you know, go on my boat in, like, Florida or something, right? You know, I'd rather go somewhere. Sorry, before it feels like I'm like half a mile away from my mic, or like on top of my mic. I can't really remember. I was just trying to grab my lid with my foot. Yeah, but I'd rather go somewhere with a soul. You know, like, I feel like Dubai. Yeah, it's slowly developing a soul, right? There are probably historical places in Dubai. I'm not denying that, but a lot of the places, you know, for example, they're building islands, right? Like, I reckon if I put up my sim brief now, I'd be able to show you, like, in Dubai, they've got, like, islands, look, the artificial islands they've got here, look. That's meant to be the world, but it doesn't look like the world. But, like, you know, they've built artificial islands, right? Like, it's kind of like, that doesn't really bode well with me, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather live somewhere. I mean, England's probably like one of the best places, like where I live right now. You know, I guess that's kind of how I have some sort of attraction to it. You know, I could go down to, you know, Hastings and, you know, see ancient battle sites, or I could go across the English Channel to Normandy and see, like, the D-Day landing sites. You know, Omaha Beach, Utah Beach, stuff like that. I mean, obviously that's quite new history, to be fair. That's not a really good example, but, like, in America, like, yes, it's a new country, right? But it's not a history. Like, you've got, like, your Civil War forts down in, like, South Carolina, and Virginia, and Maryland, and places like that, right? Right, that's good. Hold on, let me pay attention while I'm returning here. Like, we've got the Civil War forts and stuff in America. Why am I zoomed in? What's going on? But, like, stuff like that in America. In Dubai, I mean, that place was built in the last 30 years, you know? Like, I mean, in the past 30 years, everything that's really happened in that region is America coming in, you know? Like, get Iraq being invaded and stuff like that, right? I mean, Dubai, it's got rich because of the oil. I mean, so did America, to be fair. I'm not gonna pretend like that's not something that's happened. Another drink, sorry. But it just feels a little bit soulless, and so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I'd like it, like, as a young person. Like, I think, like, the whole city, it's really cool, you know? Like, it's, how do I put it? It's, I think in the future, you know, they're kind of diversifying a little bit, right? So they're putting in, you know, more things to make it more attractive to people like me, you know, because obviously they've added museums, stuff like that, right? I like museums, I like stuff like that, right? Stuff with, you know, some sort of significance, right? The Burj Khalifa, it's really, really cool, it's really tall, right? But it doesn't mean anything to me, you know? The Empire State Building, on the other hand, that means something, right? That means, you know, the Great Depression, you know, the Roaring 20s, you know, all this stuff, right? When I see the Burj Khalifa, I just think, that was built in 2010. Great. Fantastic. That was a Mission Impossible. There we go. You know? There's not really any significance to that building. But it's cool. So, I mean, I think it'd be somewhere nice to live for a little bit. Like, I don't see why it's just like, it's not a horrible, it's like, there's much worse places, you know, to live and everything, right? But, you know, if I got offered the choice between America or, obviously, some places in America, I'd much rather live in Dubai over than them. So, for example, like, I'd never want to live in LA or San Francisco or anything like that, but I'd live in, like, you know, Florida or Ohio, or, you know, kind of more remote, Pennsylvania. I've lived in Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, you know, even, I wouldn't mind living in New York. Now, the thing is, right, New York is romanticised a lot, right, in movies and stuff like that, right, which I guess does give it some appeal. Like, LA is not romanticised. The only thing I think of LA is I think of Die Hard and crime and guns and GTA and stuff like that, right? Like, it doesn't really, I guess it's a self-fulfilling prophecy when it comes to LA, you know. I mean, stereotypes don't come from nowhere, right? Anyway, yeah, New York, sorry, is full of people like drug addicts and stuff like that, right? But I feel like New York has a lot more culture to it, like the New Yorker, just the antics New York gets up to. I feel like New York has a kind of community to it, right? A kind of, how do I put it, like, you're all in it together kind of thing, you know. We saw it with, like, 9/11, right? They're all together, right? They all went through it together, right? And I feel like that was a admirable trait, right? The New Yorkers, they went through it. Same with, like, you know, Flight 1549, right? All of New York, you know, united to save the passengers from the Hudson River, you know, all the ferry boats went out, the air traffic controllers, you know. I mean, I'd say this probably happens in a lot of places, right? But obviously, I know probably a lot more, you know, not more, you know, about New York than I would to say, you know, Portland, you know, Oregon or somewhere, right? But, like, I kind of admire that, right? I kind of admire that whole collectivism of, like, you know, like, the people, right? Obviously, that only goes so far, right? There's, you know, drug addicts, a lot of like, my friend was there a few years ago, just after COVID. Drug addicts everywhere, right? Rats running riot, you know. It's not, like, I mean, the more I'm talking right now, the more I'm going to get turned off by a little bit, but it kind of depends where you live in New York. You know, you don't have to live on Manhattan. Like, you can live in Brooklyn and places like that. Now, I don't know much about them places, I'm not going to lie, but, you know, I think it'd be an experience, kind of like Dubai. New York would be a kind of experience. I don't think I'd want to live there forever. I think, you know, I'd live more remote places, you know. Probably, I mean, I don't really know, like, where I'd live, obviously. Like, it's a bit of a stretch to, like, I don't know. But, like, I think there's probably better places, you know. Better places to live. Right, let me keep track of the route. So where are we? We're just about to get to B-Bax. We're on P-Tax right now. So I believe we could probably descend down to about flight level 150, right? I don't mind doing that. Just kind of start that now while we're here. No issues with that. Right, let's begin that descent then. This is going to be a really long video, by the way. I know it will be. Always, this is probably one of my longer ones because of that messing around.
As we have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for a ride.
Right, so we're on approach now, so let's have a check out our checklist. So our bar reference is set, so obviously we'll probably get closer before we set that. Seat belts. Alright, let's leave that checklist until we get below 10,000. So let's start doing the checklist around there. I don't mind doing that. Don't mind doing it then. So so relaxing. You know, I've been talking for a while. You know, just sit and enjoy the view if you want. For now, I'll just take a sip of water and just watch, I guess. You might be able to hear me slurp my water. Sorry. Still here, just watching.